Your spouse will not automatically get your rental properties when you pass away. The courts will decide who's getting your rental properties if you have not set up the proper estate planning. So some of the ways that you can set up estate planning to make your spouse get your rental properties when you pass away is going to be a joint tenants right to survivorship, a will, or a revocable trust. The joint tenants right to survivorship, you will each co-own that property together, and then when one of you passes away, your half of the property will automatically avoid the probate process and go directly down to the surviving spouse. With a will, you can outline inside of that will that your surviving spouse will get all the rental properties, but the problem is going to be those rental properties will have to go through the probate process before they can take over the ownership of them and therefore the control. During probate, your spouse cannot sell those properties to generate cash. They cannot collect cash flow. They cannot evict tenants. They cannot do any of these things related to the rental property because they do not own that rental property. The estate owns it, and they have no control over those rental properties. So the will outline distribution to the spouse, but it will make them go through the probate process. Another way you can do it is a revocable trust. You would put the assets inside the revocable trust. When you pass away, one of two things could happen. Either your spouse could take over the management of those rental properties, or a backup trustee, which would be another individual, would be able to manage those properties on behalf of your spouse. This would be beneficial if your spouse has had minimal involvement in the rental property operations, and you don't want to make them take over the operations and the responsibility of the tenant relationships, the finances, etc. And then that way the trustee can manage them on behalf of your spouse and take care of them. And then when your surviving spouse passes away, you pass all those rental properties down to your kids, and they would avoid the probate process.